Hello guys, I'm back for another YouTube video, and today I'm going to be showing you the basics of how to use WorldEdit and WorldGuard. Now before I begin, I should definitely say that you guys should check out my server, havoc.mcserver.us. It's on your screen on the right hand side at the very bottom. It's havoc.mcserver.us. I have mini games, I have other things, and everything I've set up here, well, almost everything is on my YouTube page, alright? If you guys want more tutorials, you guys should check them out. Otherwise, let's begin. Now, I'm going to explain the basics, alright? As the video says. World Edit edits your world. World Guard protects your regions, alright? Guards it. So, let's just say you want to protect a certain region. You're going to go to the border of your region that you want to protect. So let's just say I want to protect this area over here all the way to this area right over here. Now it won't protect beyond this region. It will only protect from down over here to up here. Alright. Now it won't be protected until you define a region. So we're going to do that. Region define 1. This area is going to be called 1 for test purposes, but you can name it whatever. It could be named random characters that you put down, and yeah. So if you do that, you're going to have this region up here to down there protected, but people will be able to build under and over, and you don't want that. Like, let's just say someone has TNT, they could drop it in. But let's just say you want to go ahead and fix all of that. Well, you're going to want to do expand vert. Now that will make it so all the way down there, all the way up here is protected. Alright? So now people won't be able to build inside of this little area. But people will be able to put TNT bombs or whatever, splash potions and PvP. So in order to fix that, you're wanting to do, well, first of all, you need to find a region. So since I'm naming it 1, and let's just say I want to keep the name. If I want to keep the name, I'm going to do region redefine 1. So now this area has been updated with region 1. Alright, it could be any name like I said, but I named it 1 for this test purpose. And yeah, here we go. So this little region has been defined as 1, meaning that no one can build in it and things like that. And it will save when you restart it, now since it's defined. And yeah, so let's just say you want to set your specific permissions for this little area. You want to do region flags. You can also type in the command manually, but you're going to have to know a lot of random crap that's unnecessary because you can do region flags. Alright, so if you were to type it in manually, it would be all this shit. And let's just say you, okay, whatever. Yeah, so if you do this, it will go ahead and, yeah, it's shitty if you mess up at any point. It would say all these stuff, which, who wants that? So do region flags, alright? Or you could type it in manually if you know the command, but not a lot of people know the manual things to do, and I certainly don't. So just do region flags, like I said, enough time saying that. But the basics I do is you want to disable TNT, so people don't put TNT launchers around the spawn and blow it up and destroy your hard work. Because yes, people can do that, and it can be very annoying. Alright? And yeah. So you want to disable TNT, but you don't have to if you want people to blow up the inside of your build or whatever, but I don't know why you'd want that. If you want people to use command blocks and like buttons on command blocks and interact with things, you want to use and interact. So now people can use and interact things with that region. Alright? And you typically want to deny PvP unless you're making an arena, but since we're probably not, you're going to put deny PvP so people can't hit each other, alright? And building and block breaking is already there by default. These are just some extra things that we can go over. And splash potions, you want to go ahead and press deny, because people can still kill each other with splash potions even though PvP is turned off. If you want people to ride horses or whatever, you can press allow over here. And let's just say you want to go ahead and make it so that, I don't know, mobs don't come in and destroy your shit. You deny these things over here. This area is mostly the mobs area. I'm sure there's other sections. And yeah, so let's just say you want people to use anvil, you do allow over here. If you want people to be able to pick up items that you drop, you'd press allow. Otherwise, if someone drops an item at spawn, or whatever, wherever, you won't be able to pick it up unless you press allow over here. Okay? Now, let's just say you want to go ahead and make it so that mobs can't spawn, which I recommend you do. You'll do deny. Alright, and there's other settings too to make it so that, here, maybe I can find it. I'll do a quick little search. I think there's a lava flow and water flow. I can't really find it here. Oh, I can find it here. Look at that. Water and lava flow. Since you probably don't want people making lava cast and having it go inside of your spawn, you're going to want to put deny for those two things over here. Alright? Otherwise, people will be able to make lava casts and they'll be able to cover your spawn with a giant sink of lava. Very funny for other people, I'm sure, but for you, you probably work hard on your project and you don't want that. So do deny for water flow and lava flow, because they need both of those, okay? Otherwise, people could make a lava cast and it would go inside your spawn, be very inconvenient. You don't want that, alright? So now, since this is pretty much over with WorldGuard, which guards your protected region, we're going to go over WorldEdit, alright? Now, before I go to WorldEdit, let's just say you want to delete that region. You're going to do region, delete, and the name of the region you want to delete. So, I just deleted this region 1, and now it's gone, alright? Which is very nice. Now let's just say you want to go ahead and make it. So we're going to use WorldEdit, by the way, now. Let's just say you want to go ahead and make it so that this grass is all TNT. Alright? So we do / replace and grass block TNT. So the first line that you put in is going to be what you're wanting to replace the item with, or wanting to replace, alright? So if you want to replace all grass blocks in that region that you defined, you would do / replace grass block TNT, alright? So let's do that again. I don't know if I did that right. So the upper region's always going to be first, alright? Down to the lower region, and that's the same with WorldEdit and WorldGuard. Alright, it can't be the opposite, it has to be one way. I didn't make the plugin, someone else did. So there we go. So let's just say that you want to replace that, all the grass blocks with TNT. You'd do that. Now all that grass is now TNT. Alright? Let's just say you want to replace everything with TNT. Well, you do existing, because the first line is what you're wanting to replace, and the second line is what you want to replace it with. So now everything here is TNT. Let's just say you want to undo that. Alright, you just do undo. Alright, and once the server restarts, your edit cannot, undo won't work. And yeah. But let's just say you wanted to keep that edit. You do /redo. And redo and undo won't work if your server restarts. Alright, just a heads up. Yeah, it's important to know. Alright, now this is undone by simply doing undo. Alright, so if you want to redo the edit you just undid, you just do redo. Pretty simple, self-explanatory. Let's just say you want to make a giant wall. I don't know why you'd want to do that. Maybe you're wanting to make like a castle wall like I made over here. You would go ahead and do the bottom region first or second, all up to you. And if you right click, it's going to be the second position, which you always want it to be the bottom. And the first position is always going to be the top. Alright? So we're going to do set block over here. And this is useful as well if you want to not build all the way up there, which would be inconvenient. You do set block, and there you go. So now, all the way down up there to all the way down here is the area that you're going to replace. Alright? If you want to, you don't have to. So, the first line is what you're wanting to replace, and the second line is what are you wanting to replace it with. So, we're going to replace it with TNT. Now, this entire wall is now TNT. Alright? And you're going to replace it with anything, really. You could do cobblestone, stone, etc. But if you make an edit, you have to do undo if you want to undo it, and if you want to keep it, you do /redo, like I said. Oh, I'm inside the TNT, but I don't want to do that, so I'm going to undo it. Yeah, so let's just say that you're wanting to go ahead and only replace the solid area over here, by the way. I don't know if I covered this, but you only want to replace the solid. You're going to want to do / what you're wanting to replace. So I'm wanting to replace solid, and I'm going to make it TNT. Now the water is now water still, and the solid items here are TNT. Alright, this is basically all you really need to know, besides one last thing, which I'm going to show you right now. Alright, let's just say you have a schematic. Now you're probably wondering, what is the schematic? Schematics are things that make it so that you could save what you've built and you can copy and paste it, which is very nice to have. You're going to want to know this because it's useful. You could download other worlds or whatever, like specific sections, not the entire world. Alright, just like a small section or a big section, but it's not the entire world. Alright, and if it's too big, your server will crash and you'll get a bunch of reports, and that's not fun. But if it crashes, nothing will happen to your world. Alright, maybe it'll be partially loaded, but that's about it. You don't need to worry about it at all. Alright, it's happened to me, it might happen to you. Alright, but let's just say I want to save the specific area that I copied. Alright, so you go to the borders of where you want to copy. So top always first, second, and the first position you left click, the second position you right click. Alright, so now since I defined that area, I'll do copy. You're going to have to do copy first, with 2 brackets, by the way. And then you're going to want to do schematic, save. Oh, I already had one. Alright, 2. Alright, so now this is called 2. Now you could go to different worlds and you can load this in. It's transferable. You can send it to your friends. You could upload it to whatever. Really, maybe you want to send it on Discord. You could do that with schematics. But now you got to save the schematic, which you have to do schematic save. I already did that, by the way. And now let's just say you want to paste it. Alright, you do // schematic load to. Now, when I do / paste, I'm able to paste it anywhere in the world. Alright? And, yeah, it's very useful. Yeah, you can do whatever with that. But let's just say I want to delete that. Alright? You do schematic delete to. Alright? So now that schematic has been deleted, and well, it's deleted forever, so you can no longer, yeah, you don't have it anymore, but you can always just do that again or whatever by selecting the top, selecting the bottom, and do / copy. You're gonna have to always do that first, and then followed by what do you want to save it under. So it could be random characters or whatever. I'm just gonna stick with 2. Now, since that region has been defined as 2, we're going to go ahead and delete it because I don't want it. So, schematic delete 2. Now, that has been deleted and we don't have to worry about it anymore. Alright, and that's really all you really need to know with WorldEdit and WorldGuard. I don't use anything other than those 2 things. And yeah, I mean, it's very useful to know. You're going to want to know this stuff because you're going to use it. Let's be honest. I mean, I use it. You'll use it. These are just the basics. And yeah, you guys should check out my server. Like I said, havoc.mcserver.us. I'll type it in again if you guys want to check out what I made. mcserver.us. I have mini games. I have a language hub for people who speak other languages. And you can put words on your WorldGuard by simply doing region flags. Alright, well, whatever. If you have 2 regions, it'll be all buggy, so you would have to type in the specific region. So let's just say I want region flags for the name is spawn test, it looks like. Now this region is definable, like you could put in what? What's a good example? Oh yeah, messages, alright. So let's just say every time someone leaves, you want them to have a message, and you want it to be in giant big letters. You're going to want to do farewell title. If you don't want it to be in giant letters and you want it to be in chat, like let's just say, for example, if I go down over here, alright, well, that's a bad example. Alright, yeah, you see that? It says if you're using Bedrock, you have to wait for a while because that's like all Bedrock servers are. Bedrock 2 Java, by the way, are. If you want a message like that, you're going to want to go back over here and scroll down to page 6. Go to farewell, and you could do greeting, meaning that every time someone joins the game, they'll have a title under whatever, you know what I mean? So if you don't want it to be a giant bold letter saying RTP leave, to leave, you're going to want to delete the title and put in whatever you want to put in. So if I put in those random characters, it would pop up under chat, just like, let me see if I can find the message. Wow, okay. I'm just going to do that again. Yeah, just like this over here, it'll pop up if you delete the title. If you want it to be giant letters like Welcome the Havoc, which is my server, you're going to want to include the title in your thing. And you can do that with farewell and welcome. This is very useful. And yeah, you can't do subtitles, which are like titles underneath your giant title, but you can do titles themselves. I believe you can actually do titles, subtitles, but it's gonna have to be like, what is it? Here, you type in your message or whatever, do /n, and you type in your message, and there would be a giant message following a small message underneath, which you can include more. I didn't do that just because I didn't, but you can. It's all up to you. This plugin is very configurable, but if you have two regions overlapping, it will say you're standing over several regions, pick one. You don't have to pick one. You can do two. In my instance, I decided not to pick two. I decided to just do one because I felt it was more convenient for the people who joined and who were confused. Like, where do I go? What do I do? And it's like, well, if you want to leave spawn, you just have to do RTP leave, because usually by the time someone meets over here, they're going to want to leave, and you can't have two titles. Alright, so when I joined over here, as you can see here, let me go to minigames. Let's say minigames or whatever. Let's go back to this one. It'll say welcome to Havoc. You can't have two titles at the same time. So if you want them to be a little far apart or whatever, you do two regions like I did. And now, whenever I'm in a certain range, it will say leave. Or not leave, it will say RTP to leave. And yeah, you don't have to pick two regions. Just make sure that you remember the region name so you can define it. Otherwise, it will only appear with a message saying you're standing over several regions. Pick one, please. Or please pick one. So remember the name of that region. And you don't always have to remember the name of the region. It's just in the only case that you have two regions that overlap with each other. Alright? So if you don't have two regions overlapping with each other, you really have nothing to worry about. Yeah. I do, because I have two regions over each other. Anyways, now since I'm done with this video, subscribe, like this video, or not, it's whatever. But you guys should definitely join my server. Check out what I built, all the mini games I have. The server address is on your screen on the right hand side, under havoc.mcserver.us. So mcserver.us. That's my server. If you're on Bedrock, the server address is going to be the port, my bad. The port for Bedrock is default, which is 19132. If you're not on Bedrock, you don't have to worry about the port at all. Just type in havoc.mcserver.us, and you only type that in for both of them, but for Bedrock it asks you for the port, and the port is default. So just type in havoc.mcserver.us. Check out my server I made. I spent a lot of work on it, and I hope you enjoy this video. If you have any questions, go ahead and comment below. I may or may not see it, so if you want me to see it, definitely join my Discord. Over there I check my information, like messages or whatever, more often than I would on a YouTube video. Alright, now since this video is over, well, thank you for watching, and I hope you guys have a good one. Alright, yeah, alright, ending the video now. Peace.